Razorback Talk. For the fans, by the fans. This is Inside the Hog Pen with your hosts, Razorback Zach and Marcus MC Carlton. What's up, everybody? It's another edition of Inside the Hog Pen. However, we are down one crewmate. The wild band of misfits is down by one, y'all. MC is out sick this week, and man, it hit him, and it hit him hard. So we hope he gets better, hope he gets well. And we miss you, buddy, and we love you. But the show must go on. I am joined by NWA's own Sarah Swish, but I like to call her Hambone Vogel. You are not going to live that down, by the way. What's going on with you?
I know. I know it's not going to ever go away now.
No, absolutely not. Hey, we want you guys to get involved. We want you guys to tell us what you like, what you don't like. Tell me when to shut the hell up and whatever. Just make sure you leave us a positive review. You can say whatever you want. Just make sure it's 5 stars and make sure it's a positive review. And make sure you guys subscribe to our podcast. We have got some big ones coming up. I think our next one that we're going to record is about the game day atmosphere at Razorback Stadium, and we all know we don't want to talk about it. So, that being said, Sarah, we're going to get right into this, and let me hit this button here.
Drum roll.
All right, we got a couple of big announcements to share with you guys today. For the first time ever, the entire ITHP on-air crew will be at Simmons Bank Arena on Saturday night for the Razorback men's basketball game against Lipscomb. Tip-off for that is at 5 p.m. on SEC+. So this year, our prayers have been answered. Our gripes have been heard. It is streaming on the internet on your Watch ESPN app or your ESPN app on your smartphone or whatever. So make sure you guys tune into that. If you see us, come say hi. They ain't ready for us, Sarah. They're not ready.
I'm right by the court, so they ain't ready for me. That's for sure.
They're not ready. They're not ready. Hey, leave us a comment or question inside the Hog Wildlife and Feedback if you guys want in. We want to take your questions, your calls. We've even got the schedule for the 2024 football season, and we're going to go through that. And we're going to go 3-9, by the way, but I'm not going to go that far. I will give you $5 right now. Actually, wait till later in the show, but I'll give you $5 right now if you can give me the 4 wins. So give me the answer later in the show. Hey, we're going to jump over to the live fan feedback now. Michael Floyd Beavers says, hello from Pottsville. What's up? What's up? What's up? And, of course, my girl Katie's in the house. Hey, Katie, congratulations, by the way. She has hit her mark for raising the money that she needs to get for Disney World for the American Cancer Society. So congrats to her. I am 2 weeks away from that trip. I'm excited. Derek Hewitt says, hello from Jonesboro. We got a lot of NEA guys up in here tonight. And, of course, Chuck Pendergrass. What's up, Chuck? And then Sam Jones says, will the Razorback men's basketball team be there for the Razorback men's basketball game as well?
If not, I'll put a jersey on. I got one ready to go, and I'll get on the court and play.
I was going to say, I think I've got eligibility. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say skill.
I'm technically in the transfer portal still.
I'm not gonna say I got skill, but we only hope, and we're gonna get into that on the other side of the break. And then, of course, we've got royalty in the house, Sarah. One half of our favorite fan base, one of our top fans, Mama Linda's in the house. She says, "I'm here with you." What's up, Mama Linda? By the way, before we jump into our first segment of the night, I have one more thing, and unfortunately, it's bad news for some. It's good news for other people. But tonight is my final show of 2023.
Don't scare them like that.
You thought I was gone. You can't get rid of me that easy.
One can only hope.
Tonight's going to be my final show of 2023, and I'm going to take a little bit of a break and let the 2 hooligans run the joint. Y'all don't burn the bitch down while I'm gone, would you?
Can't promise anything. We'll see how they play. We'll see how basketball plays, and then we'll go from there.
Right.
Because that'll be the deciding factor. But
right.
I might not be here the last week either, because I might be on an airplane too.
Neverland, Narnia.
My mom just said we might be going to the Virgin Islands. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's not bad. But hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll jump right into whatever the hell that was in Tulsa over the weekend. You're watching and listening to Inside the Hog Pen on the Sideline Radio Network. Back right after this. Welcome back to Inside the Hog Pen on the Sideline Radio Network. Razorback Zach hanging out with you from the Central Arkansas studios. And, of course, Sarah Hambone Vogel from the NWA. All right, Sarah, we're going to jump right into this before we get to some of these comments. But the hell happened on Saturday?
Nobody wanted to play?
I mean, but the thing about it, though, is we started off so well against Purdue. And then we hit UNC Greensboro, and it's like we can't walk straight.
I feel like it's a competition thing. Like, I don't know what it is. My summer ball team was kind of the same way. Like, you play down to your competition.
Right.
And I think that's something this team is really bad about. I think they went in thinking, oh, it's Oklahoma. Like, yeah, they're ranked or whatever, but it's just Oklahoma. It'll be fine.
Well, but at the same time, I mean, they're number, 9 in the country? We're number 9 in the country. They were 8-0 going into the game. So, I mean,
I just think it was underhyped, and the guys never really cared for the game like they did. Like, they went into Purdue and Duke with a whole different, like, just even throughout the week, like, you know, some of them were posting more like, oh, in the gym, like, we're getting shots up. I didn't see that last week. Like, it just didn't feel as hyped up.
You're up there on the hill, as everybody knows. You're up there on the hill. You're around these guys, some of them. I mean, what's their attitude? What are they like? Kind of give us some insight, if you've got any, as far as what's going on. Because how is this the same team that just a few weeks ago beat Duke and competed against Duke?
I'm not going to say my sources, but someone from inside basically said they got lucky against Duke and they played well. And the problem is when you get a lot of talent that's new, they're still working out the kinks. And they got lucky against Duke and we're hitting what they needed to hit, but we're running. Like, if you go back, I kind of went back and watched some of the Duke game. Like, we weren't running sets or anything. Like, half the time we threw something up, like, and it happened to go in against Duke. And I feel like with Oklahoma, it was that one time where nobody could hit anything.
I mean, but at the same time, you know, everybody's throwing a fit. By the way, random squirrel, you'll have to get used to that. MC spent 3 years here. He's used to it. The Fire Muss tweets have already started. Guys, it's not time to panic yet.
My thing is, like, Muss's team, I compare him to like those grandma's sink cookies, like where you just throw in whatever you have in the kitchen sink cookies. You know what I'm talking about? That's what his team is.
I've never heard it put grandma's sink cookies though. That's pretty good.
That's what it is. It's just a thrown together team and you hope they gel. And luckily the guys this year seem to gel but on the court, they have highs and lows. And I think they got to get that worked out before January. I honestly don't care what happens this next 2 weeks because, I mean, we should win, but I'm just saying, like, in all honesty, January matters.
We thought we were supposed to say that, you know, we said that going into Hofstra a few years ago, and we see what happened there. But, I mean, typically, Muss's teams kind of stumble through the non-conference, okay?
Always do.
Do not forget that years ago, when Oklahoma, I think it was 2 years ago, when they beat the brakes off of us by 20, we went on to the Elite Eight. That was our first Elite Eight run. Okay? So it's not uncommon to lose these games. I mean, yes, we want to beat UNC Greensboro. Yes, we wanted to beat the 3 teams down in Atlantis. Okay, down in the Bahamas. Yes. If we had it our way, Muss would be undefeated right now. If we had it our way, they'd be 20-0 going into season play or conference play.
I kind of want to see how they play not tomorrow, Saturday.
Yeah.
Because personally, I think they're a bad away team based on Bahamas and then Oklahoma. UNC Greensboro, I feel like that was just a really bad night, and Greensboro was hitting everything. But
Greensboro couldn't miss.
But I feel like we're a bad away team because Oklahoma, I didn't get to watch the whole game. I have a job. I was working. Sorry, guys. But from the parts I watched, we looked, what's the word, like lackadaisical? Like
lazy?
Yeah. Or just like they looked like they were still in the hotel room half asleep. Like, and that might be, I don't know Muss's game day prep, but if they're not getting up early enough, or if they're getting up, one thing with my coaches was they would get me up too early. And we had to learn, like, hey, Sarah's going to miss breakfast. She's going to be in bed till 9:30. She ain't going to be down there at 8:30. It ain't happening.
I mean, do you think they're watching Polar Express? Nobody throw nothing at me.
I mean, even if they are, I mean, they should be at the gym early enough to where they get.
Yeah. Let's jump over here to the Hawg Wildlife fan feedback. Hey, the football questions, do not worry. We're going to get to those later on in the show, I promise, because I got a lot to say, and I think Sarah does too. Sam Jones says, under Muss, we typically lose to hard-nosed teams who run a good offense and play defense. I mean, I'm already counting losses to Tennessee and the Aggies because they mirror OU. Duke is soft and bad this season.
Yes. I don't think Duke was a good win.
Duke was not a good win because
it's a Q2 win, isn't it? It's not even a Q1 win.
At this point, I don't know if it's a quad 2 or a quad 3 because they turned around and lost to Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
So
that's why everybody keeps saying, oh, we beat Duke. Cool, we beat Duke, but they suck.
I mean, the atmosphere was great. From what I've heard on TV, it was a fantastic atmosphere.
Oh, being there wasn't a great atmosphere.
Brad State says, Woo Pig Suey from snowy Colorado. By the way, Brad, where's the Commander's Cup? I'll give you a hint. It's with the Army, baby. It's with the Army. Army beat Navy this past weekend. By the way, shout out to the Arkansas volleyball team. They did their damnedest to try to take down number 1 Nebraska in their house.
That was such a good game.
I think I blew Sarah's phone up in the group chat trying to figure out how the scoring and all that worked for volleyball. But it was the
most annoying thing because I don't know if I was at work or something, but I was trying to watch it.
Sorry, I gotta put this up here.
Oh my gosh.
Sam Jones says, how dare you?
Troy Bolton. That's, of course, it's High School Musical.
I honestly have not seen that movie, so I can't comment either way.
You need to do your homework, especially because you're going to Disney World and you call yourself a Disney fan? No.
Yes. But
you
I
need
do
to do
not.
Your homework tonight.
That does not qualify as a Disney movie in my book. We have got the other half of royalty in the house. Casey Sutton, she has beaten cancer's ass twice. And I don't care if y'all get tired of hearing it. It's something that hardly anybody can say. They've done it. She's done it twice. And yes, Casey, we will see you on Saturday. All 3 of us, barring something completely crazy, will be in attendance. And
shoot her a text and tell her where we'll be.
Okay.
Before.
Yeah, I will let you and Mama Linda know exactly where we're going to be.
Know, but
we're going to let you guys know where we're going to be pre-game. But we're still working the kinks out. There may not be a live broadcast in some form at that point.
We got to start the broadcast early.
Yeah.
Don't wait till right before the game.
Casey also says that Muss will figure things out. And Sam Jones says Muss also spends offseason focus on defense, which is why offensive cohesiveness doesn't come around until February-ish, if it comes around at all. We've seen this team struggle, but you'll have to remember, outside of the 2020 season, I think Muss here recently has made the postseason every year since then. I mean,
hasn't he made it every year but his first year here?
Yeah, he has made it every year since his first year here. Okay. Kerry Storer brings up a very good point. This team plays selfish, especially the guards. Here's the thing: am I the only one? I'm not gonna badger him. But do we have a couple of ball hogs on this team that just?
When they're the only ones hitting the shot, I wouldn't pass either.
I mean, yes, but at the same time, I don't know.
I do feel like there's a fine line between ball hog and get done. And there's some that get it done and they're getting it done over and over and over again. And so then the next time they won't pass because they got it done the last 3 times. And that's probably one of 4 times they should have passed.
Well,
and so
you know,
it's kind of like
I don't know how they keep up with how many passes are in a game, but if and it's great that you're passing the ball and then they're sharing the rock and everything else. But none of that matters if you can't put the ball in the hoop. I'm just saying.
Women's basketball lost to UAPB.
Don't even get me started on that. Don't even
for the exact same reason.
The
they have a ball hog on the team who averages 30 points a game, but 1 assist.
The neighborhood's burning to the ground.
I'm saying, like, you have players that can make shots, and they're not going to have assists. They're not going to have. I don't know.
Kerry Story says guards can't defend dribble penetration when they back off and give room. They get burned on the 3 ball.
It's true.
And then we get desperate and start throwing up threes, and it doesn't work.
That's one thing for me. I'm so excited for next year because Minifield's redshirting this year.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had film from the red-white game. That man can defend no matter what. That's one thing that some of them can do or were doing at the beginning of the season that I didn't see the last couple games.
That's true. That's true. And our offensive and defensive rebounds have got to, I mean.
Well, it also didn't help that Mark was injured. I don't really know what happened. I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened there.
His defense hasn't looked the same since then.
No. Loki's kind of on the same sentiment as everybody else. I don't want the team that beat Duke. I want the team that beat Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened between then and now. Because
Mark got hurt. Jalen Graham's playing. Oops, that's me.
I mean, I
love Jalen as a person, but please get him off my court. Please.
Wow.
If you want to talk about defense and a ball hog, that man has passed maybe 3 times in his entire life here, and his defense is god-awful.
So let me ask you this, Sarah. As I take a swig of Dr. Pepper for the working man. I'm not trying to trash Muss. Okay? I'm not going to trash him. But do you think his antics of getting fired up and going after the refs has a little bit overdone?
Mm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love his passion, okay? And you're not going to find another coach with that kind of fire, with that kind of passion, but sometimes you need to reel it back in a little bit, don't you think?
So for me, I don't know what happened to Oklahoma because commercial break ESPN had to come in. So I don't know what happened because from what I heard with the Oklahoma one is it was an Oklahoma player that came to the bench and ran into him. So for me, that's justified because the refs didn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And that's why he was upset. There's no reason a player should be running into the other team's coach purposely and then not get reprimanded for it in some sort of way.
I didn't get to see it. I had a lot of things to do that day.
It went to commercial break. So I heard about it through tweets. So I could be completely wrong. If someone was there, y'all can tell me. But from what I heard is the other team's player, an OU player, came over and like nudged Muss. Muss went to the refs and said, I know you just saw that.
Gary, I am not. Our statistician's out tonight. The guy that knows a bunch of stats. He wants to know how many assists did we have against the Sooners.
Oof. I would have to go to I can look it up real fast. But my thing with the technicals is, for me, I've always had a coach that's like him.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it personally does fire me up. When I see my coach get kicked out, I'm going to be laughing. I'm be like, okay, let's go.
And it should.
But for having 9, what has he had, 9 technicals in 10 games or something like that?
Yeah, he's had 9 technicals in 10 games.
And we're talking about non-conference.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also want to add on top of Maui last year. Like, I think he does need to calm down a little bit, but I also like the fact that he's.
Oh, I love the fact that he's fired up and how how passionate he is. David Haslett says they could be driving to pass to an open player, but none seem to get open. How about them Army Black Knights there, David? Just trying to poke fun.
Okay, I'm looking at the stats from the OU game.
Okay.
We had a total of 8 assists.
That's it?
OU only had 11.
I mean, okay. Sam Jones says, Zach, Battle is not a ball hog. He's a J.R. Smith or any other 6-man in NBA where he is the heater wired to score. He is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. We need to stop getting punked and play physical. Does Draymond have any eligibility left? Yeah, but I think he's going to the WWE or the MMA for that.
I was like, I don't want Draymond, but yeah.
I don't want Draymond. I saw a tweet this past week, getting ready for the show. I saw a tweet, and I'm going to paraphrase here, that basically says, these teams, all they've got to do is watch one film, and they know that whoever has the ball past half court's going to score because that's just how we run it. I mean, unless somebody can tell me different, Carrie Story says, blocker can make one mistake and get pulled. Battle can make a million mistakes on both ends of the court and remain in the game. I think Carrie Story's a little bit of a blocker hater there.
Well, no, she's saying she's seeing that coach is pulling blocker for one mistake. I think why that is happening is Battle's not going to change the way he plays. And this is me being over analytical, probably thinking about it way too hard. Battle's not going to change the way he plays.
David said the OU player was assessed the technical.
Okay. So thanks commercial break for not letting me know that. But I think Muss has Battle's the person that gets handed the ball and says go. Whereas he wants to develop Blocker as a player, being a freshman, so he continues to be better. So I think that's why Blocker's getting sat and talked to and then put right back in.
True. And it's a mental recheck, It kind of resets your mental state. David says they're standing around looking too much. That's what I see. I mean, y'all know me. I call it like I see it here on Inside the Hog Pen. And that's, I mean, I don't see any. See, the problem is, Coach Z said this on one of the interviews that he did with Steve Sullivan. Back in the day, we had a Jalen Williams that was taking charges. We don't have anybody that takes charges anymore. We're trying to block everything.
There was a press conference today with Muss. I wish I could find. I always miss them. I need to figure out what time.
They're on.
But
YouTube.
Jalen Graham and Muss both said they're working on stuff from the past, which to me meant actual play calls.
I mean, something needs to happen.
Yeah.
Scrolling Twitter here to make sure I don't miss anything. Loki DeWitt says, yeah, there's way too much of them trying to look flashy instead of just getting the job done. I'd rather have a pile of W's than a highlight reel. Karl Malone was a hell of a player with a bunch of great moments, but how many rings does he have? Just saying. I mean, there's the proof. And of course, Mama Linda says Nolan was a master at when to get teed up. I miss Nolan. It's not anything against Muss, but that's who I grew up with was Nolan. So,
man, it was so sad. They put him on the big screen at the Duke game, and he could hardly get out of his chair to stand for the ovation. It was so sad.
Well, look, the man's 80 years old now.
I honestly thought he was still coaching the Tulsa Shock.
No, he hasn't actually coached in years.
I was I thought he was still out there for some reason.
Sam Jones says, Muss is wild. Dude is 5'7", $150. If Coach Smart actually doesn't hold him back, then what happens when he makes it to the refs twice his size?
Can we insert the little angry leprechaun emoji now?
Right. That's pretty good. Let's see. You're getting props from Loki, our producer, back at the Sideline Radio Network studios. If I was any team playing the Hogs, I would press them the whole game. It throws off their rhythm and frustrates them.
I don't know why Duke didn't earlier. We would have lost Duke had they pressed. We almost lost Duke because they pressed in the last 2 minutes. We were up by 10.
Yeah, there you go, David. You're still Navy, though, so I won't hold it against you. But yes, at the end of the day, we still stand shoulder to shoulder. Loki says,
"Oh, that's right.
That's Dallas, and they're now called the Wings."
Yeah, they're not in Tulsa. I used to play for a team called the Tulsa Shock. Out of Tulsa.
Guys, listen. All right, hands down. And I know MC's not here; he's here in spirit with us, but it's not time to panic yet. Okay, and I don't know basketball that
If
much.
we lose Saturday, it will be though.
If we lose Saturday, thank God I'm not going to be back until 2024 because MC might actually blow a blood vessel at the game and holy
y'all are sitting next to each other too.
We are. We're going to try to sneak down to the lower level though. We're 2 rows.
He might come and grab me out of my seat and take my seat and start yelling.
I mean, there's no telling. I've heard stories about him, but seriously, there is no reason to panic yet. Okay, there's no. I mean, none of us can predict the future. None of us can say, "Oh my God, we're going to lose." So many games. They may figure it out. Okay, but here's the thing. It's only non-conference right now. Okay. Yeah, Jesse Randall Thurman says conference play is going to be crucial for our attorney resume. But yes, some of these non-conference are going to be just the same way.
Or we can just win the SEC tournament and not have to worry about it.
Oh, no. We've tried that route. We have tried that route, and it has gotten us a 10 seed against number 1 North Carolina, and we're tired. All right.
I mean, if we lose another non-conference game, though, that's what we're looking at having to do to get in the tournament. Because Greensboro brings our.
Yeah, that brings that hurts. I mean, Joe Lenardi put out one of his brackets, and we're not even in it.
Yeah, I genuinely think that's something Hog fans are really bad about, though. Me, myself included. We expect a top 25 team. From day one, I've told y'all the team did not live up to that hype. They put us at top 25. We're not top 25. I'm being completely honest. After watching every single game in Buttonwald Arena this year, we are not a top 25 team.
Oh, no, and we don't deserve to be.
And so when we don't make a run in the tournament, don't be surprised.
But sorry, at that point though, Sarah, is that I'm trying to find the word to say here.
We're not firing Muss, no, Zach.
But you know what's going to happen.
No, it's not. Not after one season.
No. You know that the fan base is going to turn on Muss after one season. They always do.
They're complaining because we're not playing LSU on Thanksgiving. Come on, they're going to complain no matter what. I gotta put this up. Sam Jones says if we lose to Lipscomb after losing to UNC Greensboro and women losing to UAPB, then I'm naming the SAU Mule Riders the flagship university and team of Arkansas. Holy God. Did he just? Holy God! I'm not even gonna. No, it's gonna be the Hendricks Warriors.
This show has completely fallen off the rails, ladies and gentlemen. No, 3 of the games that we've lost forward to respectable programs. Not worried at all. Muss will get it figured out. So there you go.
Losing to Memphis actually wasn't a bad loss. I was really pissed about it at first, but that's a really good team.
James Harris says, good evening, Hog fans. By the way, go Army, beat Navy. Oh, they did. They did beat Navy. The one day out of the year Marines go, we're part of the Navy.
Y'all, we're just going to make this an Army show now because he won't shut up about it.
Hey. Harding bite. Oh, wow.
Hey, they are playing for the national championship.
They are playing for the national title. They are that. Loki Dewitt says, listen, if they didn't fire Pitt, they don't get to fire Muss. They're not going to fire Muss. They're not going to fire Muss. But, hey, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, the 2024 Arkansas Razorback football schedule has been released, and we're going to talk about it. You're listening and watching to Inside the Hog Pen on the Sideline Radio Network. Back right after this. All right, welcome back to Inside the Hawg Pen on the Sideline Radio Network. Razorback Zach, Sarah Hambone Vogel with you from the NWA. Marcus MC Carlton, who I'm going to rename the Wise Man, is out tonight. Sick. MC, dude. I hope if you're watching, man, get better, get well, because we need you on Saturday.
Yeah, don't flake.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about something that I know a little bit something about. Oh boy, where do we start? 4-8 in the SEC, or 4-8 overall, 1-7 in the SEC, 23-25 in 4 seasons. But next year, it all turns around because we're only going to win 3. No, I'm kidding. As of tonight, about an hour ago, the 2024 Arkansas Razorback football schedule was released, and we now know when we're playing and who we're playing. And thank you, SEC, for screwing us again. You had the opportunity. I'm going to go on a little rant here. You had the opportunity to put LSU and Arkansas back where it goes because Texas and Texas A&M are playing on the weekend of Thanksgiving. But what did they do? What did they do? You put freaking Missouri there. I almost slipped up and said the F-ball. I'm going to hold on to that.
I just re-looked at the schedule, and now I'm even more annoyed. I'm so tired of A&M in Arlington.
Well, good news. Good news. After this year, it goes to a home and home. Unless they renew the contract, which I don't think they will.
Well, because now we only have one game at home all of September.
Let's go through this for those that don't know. Week 1 is UAPB in Little Rock at War Memorial Stadium. I won't lie. That one's, I mean, I like the band for UAPB, but that one's going to tell you a lot about where this team stands.
And our game day atmosphere.
Well, but again, if you we're gonna do a pod exclusive on that, but the atmosphere at War Memorial versus the atmosphere in Fayetteville. Ooh, that's another idea. Sorry.
But I just meant UAPB's band versus our band.
I mean, our band's not bad though. Could be better.
I decline to comment.
Could be better. Could be better. If you guys got football questions, go ahead and start sending those in. Week 2 is at Oklahoma State. You were going to Stillwater in week 2. That one could go either way. Honestly, that could go either way. Week 3 is UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham, the Blazers, I do believe.
Some sort of dragon thing.
Some sort of dragon thing.
Well, because the social media team, if y'all have Twitter, go check it out. But the video for UAB is the little piggy attacking a stuffed animal dragon. It's the most adorable, cutest thing ever. So that's why I know it's a dragon.
Sam says, Sarah, some of us in Dallas like the Arlington game. If we could ever win a few consecutive.
That was my point, is that I hate it in Arlington because I've been the last 2 years and not going next year. But if you need a ticket, I can get you a student section ticket. $50 front of the end zone.
There you go. And I've actually been at Cowboy Stadium and walked it on the field, everything. It's a great stadium. I don't care what anybody says. It's a great stadium.
We played like
week 4. Week 4 at Auburn. Y'all know how I feel about Auburn? Screw you, Mark Curls. That's all I'm going to say about that. Week 5 is in Dallas against A&M. It is the final game in Jerry's world. Win that game in 2025. If we play A&M, it will go to a home and home. It should go home and home. I think now with Texas A&M on Black Friday, I think you're going to see that game moved to Texas Stadium if the Cowboys aren't playing. I mean, there's that one would draw a whole lot of bigger crowd than no offense, Hog fans, but that would Texas and Texas A&M in Jerry's world on Thanksgiving weekend would probably draw a very big crowd. So week 6, Tennessee at home. We all hate Tennessee. Which they're not bad either. Week 7 is your first bye week. It's been a couple of years since we've had 2 bye weeks in a season. My word. Week 8.
They line up perfect. Like whoever, what are they before LSU and before, what's the second one?
Texas. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Week 8 is LSU, Battle of the Boot. Week 9 is at Mississippi State. Week 10 is home against Ole Miss. Week 11 is your other bye week. So if you're having a wedding, festival, party of any kind, those are your 2 weeks. Week 7 and week 11. Plan accordingly. Week 12, Texas. I hope to God we win that game.
Did you get your free shirt today?
I forgot.
Go get it. Horns down. You can wear it to the game.
I will.
If anybody else wants a free shirt, $5 shipping,
we will have that.
Send me a message on Facebook.
Yeah, we'll have that. We'll have it posted to our page, both Twitter and Facebook after the show. Week 12 is Texas. God, I hope they lose. I hope Arkansas wins that game, because if not, I'm never.
The NBA just suspended Draymond Green indefinitely.
Good. They need to. That's
didn't think they'd actually do it. Sorry, just got the notification.
No, you're fine. That's fine. Week 13 is Louisiana Tech, and then week 14 is the damn battle. It's Missouri.
Battle line rivalry.
I don't even want to say it because it's not. No, it is not It's not a damn rivalry. So, realistically, and this is way too early predictions here, okay? Realistically, what are you seeing our record being at the end of the year? As of right, because again, we don't know how this roster is going to shake out, okay? One of the biggest questions, where's KJ? Derek Hewitt says, what's y'all's opinion on KJ staying or going?
He's staying.
Honest opinion, and I'm about to get a hell of a lot of hate mail, but I think he missed his chance to go to the portal if he was going to go.
He's also been posting stuff in Razorback stuff. Like, the hints are all there and no one's listening.
Are you sure that's not the parody account that's out there?
No, it's on his Snapchat. I have him on Snapchat. I'm not talking about Twitter.
Oh. Well, Loki pretty much says that he on a pretty good answer here. He says, honestly, I think he is screwed either way. If he goes, he waited too long and is going to get lost in the shuffle among the better talent in the portal. If he stays, he will be fighting to keep his starting spot. He has his work cut out for him no matter what.
He might draft. I don't know. It's either stay or draft. He ain't leaving. I can tell you that much. He ain't leaving.
Well, but he needs to come out and at least say something. Because
maybe homie's just trying to focus on finals, okay? Some of us are really struggling over here.
What are finals?
I don't know. The football players wouldn't know because they're all traveling around the world.
No, I'm kidding. Realistically, looking at this, it's way too early to predict. Give me until spring, when spring ball rolls around, when the roster finally shakes out, and we see where everybody's at. And,
who's playing at War Memorial tonight?
That's junior college national championship.
Oh. Someone messaged me about it, and I was confused.
Yeah, that is. I believe that's junior college national championship. Sam Jones says nothing is settled with KJ. My take is he's waiting for the second portal window to bolt when his value is higher. There's a second portal window? Let me tell you guys something. This portal and the NILs are killing college football as we know it.
All college sports.
Lucky wants to know who would draft him at this point, though. He doesn't have the best credentials. Yeah, I said it.
That's why I said he was staying, because I don't think he's. Cam Little's our only hope in the draft.
Cam Little's our only hope. And speaking of which, the bottle rocket smoke bomb thing went to South Carolina.
Oh, I told you guys that. I told you that like 2 or 3 weeks ago. He was going Georgia or Florida. Somewhere over there.
We went to South
Carolina. South Carolina's close enough. Over there somewhere.
Hey, Sarah, where's he going? I don't know. Give me a dart. Let me throw it at the wall.
Well, I said Georgia or Florida. His kid's in Georgia, so he's right there.
Dan Yoakum says, I don't think KJ has the work ethic to keep his starting job. He's a little pudgy, to be honest, and his body language is just horrible and just doesn't look like a leader of men.
My body language would have looked like crap if my O-line looked like his.
Okay, but at the same time, I'm going to defend KJ to a point. this year, if he comes out next year and we win 10 games, this year's pretty much a wash because we know not all of it was on KJ. Okay, that line was atrocious. There's no other way around it. That line was garbage. And the kid was running for his life 99.9% of the time.
True.
I'm not so sure about the new O-line coach, but again, we haven't seen anything for the, to the contrary. Loki says they're turning college ball into pro ball. It is getting to be all about money, but don't you dare criticize them. Oh, please. I'm criticizing. If you're making more money than a rookie in the NFL, you're going to get criticized. Does that mean
criticize?
Because here's the thing, Sarah. Okay, if you're making money, if you're making the big bucks, you're open to criticism. Now,
I think there's also.
But see, here's the thing. All right, let me get your take on this. Okay, the NIL money that they get has nothing to do with the product on the field.
Correct.
So that's gonna be what people's argument is gonna be when it comes down to should they or should they not get criticism.
My thing is there's a fine line between criticism, like saying our O-line was bad this year,
is an understatement. I think she froze. She did. We'll try to get her back here in a second. Oh, but yeah, there's what she was saying. I think I'll figure it out what she was trying to say. There's a fine line between criticizing a player and saying the O-line was bad, the quarterback play was bad, the running back room was bad, versus, I don't know, tweeting at them, or better yet, tweeting at their family. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. And they wonder why we get such a bad rap when it comes to this fan base. Oh, when we're winning, everybody's like, God, everybody's great. Everybody's awesome. But the minute you start losing, you hear KJ's crap. Rocket's crap. This player's crap. This player sucks. Do y'all not know it's 2023, almost 2024? Let's see if we can get Hambone back in here. Sarah, we got you this time?
I think so. Everybody came home to do their finals.
Yeah. So go ahead with what you were saying.
I was saying that there's a fine line between like saying our team's horrible versus like F. Travis Kelce, number 87, his mama needs to go get him and blah, 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 blah. Or adding their parents because they transferred. Like there's just.
Here's the thing. All right. I'm gonna name drop. But at the same time, here's my point. Poopaw went to Ole Miss. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
Okay. Who cares? Jalen Catalon went to No.
Everybody.
Okay. Here's the thing. Here's my thing. Okay. Jalen Catalon went to freaking Texas. Nobody said a word.
We didn't want him.
Okay. But Poopaw went to Ole Miss. Yes. The way Lane Kiffin got him, this dirty mother lands in our state, walks through our doors unscathed, picks up Poopaw, and hauls ass out of here. But we've got fans that are tweeting this kid's father.
Which his dad's been pretty active on social media for a while, though.
But are they asking for an ass whooping?
Yeah. Well, like his dad was I think a lot of people were upset about Pooh because his dad was so pro Arkansas on Twitter. Like over and over and over again. Like Hogs for life. Like, that was one of the hashtags on his tweet was hashtags Hogs for life. And so I think that's what set everybody off, was then his son then goes to a rival team. And his dad was running his mouth back on Twitter, but some people took it way too far.
Jesse Randall Thurman says, I'm not a fan of Pooh going to Ole Miss, but folks are ridiculous on Twitter going after his dad. Look, I guarantee you, half the people that are talking shit on Twitter, by the way, Chloe, if you're watching, close your ears. I guarantee you, half the people on Twitter that are talking crap won't say it to his face.
I wouldn't. That man huge.
Have you seen this dude?
And then, like, the fact that people...
I met him at a hog walk one time. Holy shit.
My one pet peeve is, we're talking about a player going to a rival school, and the first thing y'all tweet about is, man, his daddy ugly.
Wait a minute.
What does this looks matter?
Casey Sutton. KJ should not have thrown the fact that he got money in other players' faces. What's the story there? Because I've heard different versions of this, Sarah.
Well, okay. I need a clarification because I'm not sure if our little group is correct. Is there truly a minimum amount that the players have to get paid?
No. Well, okay.
Because someone said there is now, which I didn't think was true.
I don't think there's not a cap. I can tell you that.
I know there's not a max, but someone told me there's a minimum amount. And because of that minimum amount, the starters are now pissed off because they can't get as much as they were because the minimum has to go to the other players.
Okay, I'll have to look into that.
I'm going to have to ask my group about it.
Yeah, I'm not. Something about that doesn't sound right, but we'll look into that and have some answers for you. But yeah, the football schedule's out. Look, my end thought on this, y'all, football's gonna football. All right. Right now, every card is in the air.
For me, I get what they're saying about KJ throwing money. Like, he didn't throw the money in other people's face. But, like, him posting that he got a brand new car while some of them are driving around in, like, a beat-up thing. I mean, that kind of sucks. But also, you got to realize, like...
Yeah, that was...
You're a bench player, and he's the starting quarterback of a D1 SEC team. Like...
There's the difference, though. That's the difference right there. I think Jesse says, I think KJ just stunting, so to speak, with his clothes, and Carr rubbed people the wrong way.
But Jordan Crook with a giant necklace on with his last name on it doesn't rub people the wrong way. That's one thing about KJ is he was never wearing his necklaces are pretty simple for the most part.
No, I 100% agree. Here's the thing, though. Okay. These guys are supposed to wear suits. Okay.
Someone said that there's okay, this is what they said. There's an NCAA legislation that they're trying to put into place, but it's not a bylaw yet.
No, it's not a bylaw yet. That sounds about right. They're trying to regulate the NIL because it's gotten so out of control. Look at the kid at Ohio State getting $20 million in NIL deals.
Which that's also I have something to say.
Hey, Loki says we're going to have a great season when we boot up NCAA 2025, which comes out in June of next year. We hope.
My thing is, as a college student, being around these college students making a lot of money, one thing I am so thankful for is that Muss has made the hunts put those boys through classes. They go through financial classes, nutrition classes. They go buy their groceries. They take them to the DMV and make them get their cars tagged themselves with them there to help them. Every team needs to be doing that. I also wish that the people giving them NIL money would make them put like 50% of it into savings that they can't touch till they get a degree or until they're in the league or something else. Because all their money is gone by next year, I bet.
Oh, yeah. So here's the thing about NIL. They can write that check at any point. And it has no impact on any kind of stat line, nothing. It's, hey, we want you on our team to represent our brand. Here's $500,000. There it is. These 18, 19, 20-year-old kids don't know what the hell they're doing with $500,000. Hell, James, I kind of agree with James.
$500,000 in a day, let me tell you.
Hey, look, I'll pay off all my stuff first, then I'll go,
That's what I'm saying. Pay off my car, pay off my apartment for the rest of the year, pay my
Right.
loan. Well, I don't have loans yet, but student tuition. Pay
I
for
kind of
books.
so many moons ago when this whole thing started, before you came on the show, Sarah, MC and I went round and round on NIL. And I said something similar to this that James is saying. If we are paying the players and they go into the portal and transfer to a new school, they need to pay the money back to the school they're transferring from.
That's what happens with, if Walmart pays your tuition and you don't work for Walmart for 5 years, you owe them the money.
Well, okay. So what if, and again, I'm not advocating for any kind of college player to be paid, but if you transfer out as a grad transfer, you graduate from Arkansas and you've got 1 year of eligibility left and you transfer out. That's fine. I'm okay with that because your name is on Senior Walk. You did what you had to do.
And there's schools with better master program other places.
Yeah. Okay. So if KJ transfers to Southern Cal, later, dude, you set the records. You had a bad last year. Peace. But let's say, I don't want to single anybody out here, but let's say that, Joe Smith gets $500,000, but he's only here, a year and a half, 2 years. I say he pays the money, I say he pays half of it back.
My thing is, okay, one.
That's just me.
The NCAA should have thought this through. Because how are you now going to put regulations on companies and businesses that are paying KJ?
Because.
And tell them, oh, no, you can't pay him this much until you pay the whole rest of the team this much money.
Because when it first came out, the NCAA could not touch it. They said, we're not touching it, and we're not putting regulations on it for 2 years.
But I'm saying, but now they are, and now they're it just.
Do I think that
why would I pay a bench player an X amount of money to give the starting? I'm not going to support it. There's a reason Walmart has not put their money into the NIL bucket, and this is why. They're going to get screwed over.
They are, but at the same time, here, and again, we're going off in the weeds here. But no, you're fine. This is a great topic. But here's the thing about NIL, okay? If you're going to pay every player, if you're going to make a baseline, then every player gets $100,000 minimum. Yeah, we'll back it up, but graciously, $100,000. All right. And then I think NIL needs to be incentive based, but that's neither here nor there. Sam Jones says, I believe Title 9 or Title, I don't know Roman numerals, Title 4? That's 4?
4.
Does state a player has to get some bare minimum. However, you are no longer student athletes. You are employees. You want more money than play better. Welcome to the real world, kiddo. It's kind of what I was saying a minute ago.
Well, what really pisses me off is, okay, this might be coming from a girl who got her school almost paid for. My grades were perfect. My ACT score was good.
What was your ACT score?
32.
Get the hell out of here.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
I am not telling you what my ACT score was. Why do you think I joined the military? Enough said.
But that's why I went to a D3 school to play, is because I had my school paid for almost. I had good grades. But then now people on Twitter are saying that the scholarship athletes that are like KJ, who gets paid, let's say $1 million. I don't know that KJ is getting $1 million just using it for money. That he should drop his scholarship and pay for it himself to give a walk-on a scholarship. Basically saying Devo should use his NIL money to pay for school and give Cade Arbogast his scholarship.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Not just no, but hell no. Why?
Welcome to Twitter.
Why? What? Just. And this is why you're more active on Twitter than I am. Okay, because my little head would explode by all the dumbassery that goes on. Mama Linda says the NCAA is a bad joke the school has to endure with. Yeah, but I will say this: look for the SEC to split from the NCAA before too long. David Haslett says it shouldn't be more than $50,000, $50,000. I agree. I think the baseline should be $50,000. I was trying to be generous with the $100,000, but I think
the baseline's supposed to be 30.
Hey,
but I don't think
I'll take 30
Genuinely,
grand.
these guys don't deserve that much money at this point. Sorry.
Instead of NIL money, why not give them money for tuition and make sure it goes to the tuition?
Because this is on top of tuition. This is scholarship players. Their tuition's paid for. This is on top of tuition. This is their Dixon Street drinking money. This ain't tuition money.
Then it needs to have a cap on it. It needs to have a cap on it. Daniel, so Dan's got an interesting question. And again, we're way off in the weeds here. We're going to start wrapping it up here in just a second. Are the NIL deals a one-shot deal, or is it a yearly deal? If it's not a yearly deal, I'd hit the portal every year.
It depends on what the business wants to do. So I know like Be Unlimited, their t-shirt deal is like forever how many t-shirts are made, you get blah, blah, blah. But like some places like the smoothie shop in town does like a % night. So you get like a percentage of whatever.
So
yeah.
We're going to wrap up here. And being that it's my last show of 2023 and you're stuck with the other two hooligans until I get back, I've got my final thought of the year. Now, this y'all can listen, y'all can go away. That is totally up to you. But y'all know I do these at the end of the year. 2023 was a big year, and ITHP has gone through its ups and downs. And let me tell you something. There is no problem asking for help if you are in a bad spot. All right? Mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever. If you're in a bad spot and you don't know how to get out of it, and I'm not talking about asking for money, reach out for help. Trust me, I can go on and on and on about the trials that I've reached and trials that I've gone through. All right. That's another story for another time, Make sure you guys stay safe this year. All right. Make sure you guys stay safe. That's all, I could go into this big long spiel, but I'm going to keep it short. I got to give a shout out to everybody here at ITHP. I may be the face and the voice of it, but it's these other three peeps that I work with that make this show and this brand what it is. And we have got some giant steps coming in 2024. I'm not going to say what it is, but got some big things coming in 2024. I am set. Like I said, this is my final show of 2023. I'm taking some time off. I'm going to leave MC and Sarah in charge. MC is an invaluable asset. He's coming up on 3 years with ITHP, and dude's like a brother to me. Sarah's growing on me a little bit. She's cool.
He's talking himself into it, guys.
And yeah, I'm gonna make her jump to a couple more hoops. And then big shout out to my boy Loki back at the Sideline Radio Network studios, keeping the stats going and keeping you guys up to date and informed. But big year 2023, and 2024 is looking to grow a little bit more. Make sure you guys subscribe to the podcast. Spotify, Apple. Where's MC when I need him? Spotify, Apple, Google is no more.
iHeartRadio, Radio Public, Google app. Google's no more. Apple, Spotify. That's all I know.
Look at Sarah from the corner. That's why we call her Swish, coming in clutch at the buzzer.
Okay, also, I want to clarify what I was saying about the minimum earlier because somebody just clarified for me.
Okay.
It's from the school has to minimally pay everybody. So like the Edge now, you have to raise up to $7 million and you have to make a minimum for every player. So of that $7 million, every player has to make at least $30,000 from that money.
I'm okay with that. But we'll have a podcast exclusive strictly on NIL and the ups and downs of it. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the podcast because there's going to be content coming out on a semi-regular basis that you can only find on that podcast platform. We're launching podcast-only content in 2024. So you're not going to want to miss that.
Oh. Only half of the student athletes have to make the $30,000.
All right, we'll get into that on a later show. We'll get into that on a later show because we'll get our facts together and we'll get all of our ducks in a row. Hopefully we'll have MC back. I cannot wait to see everybody out at Simmons Bank Arena. Every on-air personality for ITHP is going to be in attendance. And for select few, you might get to hang out with us pregame. For a select few, you might get to hang out with all three of us during pregame.
And check the Facebook later if you want a Horns Down t-shirt for $5, just shipping. That's all you have to pay.
Regularly pay is $29.99. So jump on it. Anyway, that's going to do it for us for another episode of Inside the Hog Pen. I'm Razorback Zach. She's Sarah Swish Hambone Vogel. And for the missing and lovable Marcus MC Carlton. Until next time and until 2024, so long, everybody.